So the Eagles tried to trade for Christian McCaffrey. And not only that, it is close to the trading deadline. And just like we said, Kareem Hunt has become available. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. Isn't it funny that all of a sudden, as the trade deadline's approaching, Kareem Hunt is available for trade, just like we said he would? And why wouldn't the Eagles go after him? I mean, they were after Christian McCaffrey. Now we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe for daily Eagles content, NFL content. You definitely don't want to miss it. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, I also have to say this. Before we start this video, I got to give a huge congratulations to the Fightin' Phils on making the World Series. Bryce Harper. I mean, we streamed this thing. Bryce Harper, bottom of the eighth, 2-run home run, down a run, unbelievable. Talking about clutch, talking about a guy worth every penny of a contract. Bryce Harper. Congratulations to the Phils. We will be streaming that as long as it's on prime time, you know. Also, we got to say this. We do have a little bit of Eagles breaking news today. I'll just read it to you. The Pound Eagles are bringing back an old friend, fan favorite. They've signed wide receiver Greg Ward to the practice squad. Now, to me, when I see the fact that they're bringing Greg Ward back, I got to wonder if this is for punt returns. If they're feeling a little bit worried about Covey back there during punts, and maybe Greg Ward's coming in there to give them a little security. Listen, Greg Ward isn't going to get you 2 yards, 3 yards, but he's going to fair catch it, okay? I know he can do that. So maybe that's what this is about. I don't know, because I don't really think or feel like the Eagles really need a wide receiver. So what was the need to bring him in, unless it has to do with special teams? It's the only thing that I can think about. It's the only thing that I can possibly gather to why they would bring him back. But Greg Ward Jr., he is coming back. So look for that. Also, I gotta talk about this because this is crazy. The NFL trade rumor says Eagles checked in on Christian McCaffrey, could target a pass rusher, target a veteran pass rusher. I would say this: I expect them to do that, but the question is, who will it be? We heard about Brian Burns, and they said the asking price was 2 first-round picks. Then all of a sudden, they said they turned down 2 first picks. I don't believe any of it. I think it's all negotiating. It's all smoke and mirrors. Brian Burns could very well be on the trade block. We'll find out. Also, a lot of talk about Bradley Chubb of the Denver Broncos. We'll get into pass rushers in the next video because there's a whole bunch of things to say about that, including Robert Quinn of the Chicago Bears. But I do want to talk to you guys about Christian McCaffrey because the Philadelphia Eagles, along with the Denver Broncos, were apparently in on Christian McCaffrey. Now, I'm a little surprised by this, really. It shocks me a little bit. Why? Because when I look at Christian McCaffrey, I know how talented he is. I know that the Eagles really liked him coming out of college. But to me, he didn't really fit the kind of back I think you kind of need for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think you already have what you need in Christian McCaffrey in Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders was on pace for 1,400 yards, so it was a little surprising that the Eagles checked in. Well, I guess it shouldn't be surprising that they checked in on him. They check in on everybody, but they were offering somewhere around a 3rd or a 4th. Obviously, the Carolina got way more, sending him to the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think that the Eagles, just my opinion, were probably that totally serious on him. At least they didn't want to spend a lot, which I totally agree with. Now, what's interesting is if the Eagles are looking to add to the running back room, if they're looking to add a running back, right? We talked about a running back who would be a great complement. You want to get a guy that's a great complement to Miles Sanders. And to me, that would be a bigger, more physical back. And we talked about this guy in the summer, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt may be the guy. And people say, well, we don't know if Cleveland sounds like they're going to trade him and whatnot. I say, you got to wait till it gets closer to the trade deadline. See where Cleveland is, because that's when we're really going to find out if they're willing to trade him. So today, I guess there's reports surfacing that the Pound Browns, and this comes from Dov Kleiman, he says, the Pound Browns are listening to trade offers regarding running back Kareem Hunt and cornerback Greedy Williams. Now, I like Greedy Williams. I don't think the Eagles need to focus on a corner. I don't think they need to focus on a corner right now, to be totally honest with you. I think you're pretty good there. Okay. However, Kareem Hunt is a different cat. So to me, Kareem Hunt is the perfect complement to Miles Sanders, okay? He's a bigger back. He's a back that can get you 3rd and 1, 3rd and goal at the 2, 3rd and goal at the 1, something like that. Because to me, the Eagles really have to rely too much on Jalen Hurts to do that. And if you have a bigger back like a Kareem Hunt, it will kind of take away from some of those quarterback sneaks and putting Jalen Hurts in tough situations that maybe you don't want to put him in as much. I mean, he's going to have his quarterback sneaks. He's going to run the ball. He's going to do those things. But if you can kind of cut down on the risk of injury, those kind of things, I think it's a great thing. Kareem Hunt, to me, fits a lot better than a Christian McCaffrey would on the Philadelphia Eagles. Kareem Hunt, 5'11", 216 pounds, only 27 years old. So far this year, he's had 66 attempts, 263 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he's averaging 4 yards per carry. That's not bad. If you think about that, you bring a guy like that in, who is a complement to Miles Sanders, I don't see how that hurts you at all. He also has 15 receptions for 87 yards and 1 touchdown. So he's caught some out of the backfield, but Kareem Hunt makes complete and utter sense to me for the Philadelphia Eagles. If you go out and you bring in a back like that to complement Miles Sanders, I think you would have a really good 1-2 punch. And of course, we knew this was going to happen. As it got closer to the trade deadline, the Cleveland Browns would start listening to offers for him, and they should. It just makes a lot of sense. He's a free agent at the end of the year, and I could totally see a situation where the Eagles go out and they get Kareem Hunt. What would it cost for Kareem Hunt? I can't imagine it would cost you more than a 4th round pick, right? I can't imagine it would cost you anything more than a 4th round pick. So for a 4th round pick, would I bring in Kareem Hunt to a team that's 6-0, undefeated? Absolutely 100%. It makes total sense. I think this could be a good move. And I'm assuming that the Eagles are interested in a running back, being the fact that they were in on the Christian McCaffrey trade. Either that, or it's just like they look at Christian McCaffrey as such a great athlete, such a great running back, such a great player to add to the team, they couldn't avoid it for the right price. To me, I think they, more than not, they probably want another running back. So I think Kareem Hunt would be a really, really good addition to the Philadelphia Eagles. Makes a lot more sense to me, really, than Christian McCaffrey. So I think the Eagles. I think this is something we have to keep our eye on. I know this about the Eagles. They are going to be players in everybody. Anybody big name, they are going to be players in. And I think that you're going to see at least 1 to 2 big moves at the trade deadline. I really believe that this team is going to do that. What do I think they're going to add? I think the most likely positions are probably running back and defensive end or edge rusher. I think they're going to add another pass rusher to this team. I think they probably would like to add another running back in terms of depth-wise to this team to go along with Miles Sanders. Jordan Howard, I think he signed on the New Orleans Saints practice squad, so he's kind of not out there. But if you could bring in Kareem Hunt, I mean, that would be the equivalent, in my opinion, of when the 2017 Philadelphia Eagles went out and got Jay Ajayi from the Miami Dolphins. It would be the equivalent, maybe in some ways a little better, because I think Kareem Hunt is not as beat up as Jay Ajayi was. So he could be it would be a perfect addition. And remember this, here's another thing I want to point out when it comes to the Kareem Hunt situation, okay? The Eagles, when they traded for Jay Ajayi, one of the reasons that they traded for him if you guys remember, was because the Eagles that year practiced during training camp with the Miami Dolphins, and they were able to kind of scout him, look at him, probably talk to him a little bit, get a feel for him. Well, what did we see this year at training camp? The Eagles were out up at Cleveland practicing with the Cleveland Browns, and who do we see the Eagles talking to? Nick Sirianni, Howie Roseman's there. They're all kind of talking to Kareem Hunt. So I think the same process that went into place for Jay Ajayi, they probably did the same things with Kareem Hunt. So I expect the Eagles to be real players in going after Kareem Hunt. I think that this could be a real likely scenario. At the same time, I still think that they're going to go after an edge rusher. Which edge rusher? That we'll totally have to find out. I think Bradley Chubb is possible. I'm still believing in Brian Burns, Robert Quinn. We'll get into that because that's a whole nother video because there's so much to say about all the possible pass rushers. But as these teams lose, and as these teams getting closer to realizing they don't got a shot, they're going to look to go out and get picks. And you're going to see more and more teams, you're going to see more and more names pop up. And the Eagles are in perfect situation to take advantage of it. The one thing I will say is this. No matter what happens in terms of the trades, whatever the Eagles do in terms of who they're going to trade for, you cannot give up that New Orleans Saints pick. You cannot give it up. You have to keep it. You have to save it. You have to hope that New Orleans keeps the losing because that could easily turn into a top 5 pick. And if the Eagles come out of this draft or come into this draft this offseason with a top 5 pick, that is unbelievable. It is absolutely 100% unbelievable. But as far as I see Kareem Hunt now available or now being shopped, now teams are having a chance to make offers to Cleveland, I think the Eagles are going to be big-time players in Kareem Hunt sweepstakes. And we'll see what happens. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Yo, I'm telling you guys, this NFL VR game on Quest 2, if you have a Quest 2, let me know you have it. Because this football game, this NFL game, this whole experience thing, like you're playing quarterback, dude, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous. If Madden could do half of what this does, it would be such a better game. This thing is better than Madden. It's way better than Madden. And you can't even tackle and stuff and play defense in it. But it's better than Madden because it's different. That's the problem with Madden. It's been stale for years and years and years. If you guys haven't, check that NFL on Quest 2 out. That's all I gotta say. There's a Washington out.